up are my chances of my skydiving dream?
And find out how you can help save Britain's bees.
Hello and welcome to the Blue Peter Garden. Have a look at these. Yeah, I know these stones probably look like they're glued together, but they are balancing one on top of the other. That is quite unbelievable. Adrian, you're the artist who created all of these. Go on, be honest, is there any glue at all? Because there's hardly any point of contact there.
Yeah, no, it's a very small point of contact. There's no glue, unless you want to call nature's glue, holding it there.
So what is holding it there?
It's staying up there purely by balance. You find the centre of the balance, you move it very carefully, and with luck it will stay there.
That is incredible. And you're the only artist in the UK who does these. We can have a look at one of your biggest balances. That must have taken a while to create.
It was a few hours to set up, but I had problems with the sea coming in, the tide was coming in, the light was going. But I was really happy with the way it turned out in the end. It was great.
You got there in the end. Yeah. And you're not the only guy in the world who does this. There are some artists in America. You can see all those stacked one on top of the other. That looks like it could fall at any second, and so do they, if I'm honest. But they are pretty impressive. Are these dangerous then?
You have to be careful. I mean, if you do it for yourself, you don't want to leave them standing in case you know, a dog comes up and bumps against it or something. So
yeah, that's why we're keeping Lucy and Mabel out of the way. I'm going to have a go, but on some smaller stones. They're a bit big for me to handle at the minute. But what are the top tips for making this work?
Okay, there's a few things to remember. That's my stone for a start.
Okay.
That's your one. What you want to do is you need to concentrate hard.
Okay.
So you're focusing totally on what you're doing.
Okay, will you balance that one then?
Okay, well, maybe easier said than done.
You can do it. Focus.
Yes.
You get in the zone. I'm going to have a go at this one. Do you know what? I feel like a mermaid.
Keep your hands really still as well. If you can keep your body still, you're more likely to balance the stone. And if you feel falling one way, then you move it very slightly the other way.
Okay. Right, so you've really got to try and predict where it might go.
Yeah, exactly. You've done it. Fantastic.
I've done that straight away. Clever clogs.
All right, cool. You seem to have got that one, but what you have to do by the end of the show is try to balance this stone on this massive one right there.
You always have to steal my thunder. I'm never going to be able to do that.
Honestly, this is really hard. Watch yourself, watch yourself. But talking of challenges, my ultimate challenge is to do a skydive formation. And I'm doing that with the RAF Falcon Skydiving Formation team. But the question is, would anything stop me from actually fulfilling my challenge? Snow. Remember this? All my plans are in place for my first jump when the shocking weather put a stop to all parachuting. So for the next stage of my training, I did what the RAF Falcons always do when they can't parachute. They go to Bedford. Balancing on a hurricane of air, travelling at over 120 miles per hour, up to 22 skydivers can train all at the same time, all day long, whatever the weather. This vertical wind tunnel is the largest one in the world. Put it this way, this is the closest I'm going to get to skydiving without actually jumping out of a plane. It is awesome, isn't it? My instructor, Toby Goodchild, wanted to give me my first taste of freefall.
You can hear it's really, really noisy here.
Noisy, mate, yeah.
So we need to be able to communicate. So I'm just going to run through some of the basic hand signals that we're going to do.
All right.
What do you think that means?
Go down?
Yeah, go down. Arch your hips, push your hips towards the net,
okay.
And then that's going to make you go down.
Okay, push your hips towards okay.
What do you think that could mean?
Those could be your feet.
Okay, exactly, your legs. Okay, so your legs, if my fingers are nice and straight, what do you think I want your legs to do?
Straighten out the legs.
Vice versa then?
Crunch up the legs.
Crunch up the legs. Okay, what do you think that means?
I don't know, relax.
Relax, yeah, and that is the big thing when you're in the tunnel. If you can relax, you're going to be able to learn to skydive. The final one, there isn't a signal for this, but you need to smile, okay, because it is an enjoyable thing to go and do. Okay, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready, man, let's do it. To make the most of the simulator, I had to go through a series of short, sharp lessons, each lasting 2 minutes. First up, stability. I had to learn how to control my freefall, balancing on the airflow without going up or down or turning from side to side. The upward rush of air exerted 8 tons of thrust. Now that's capable of lifting a large car, so I needed all the stability I could get. While Alberta kept hold of me for safety, Toby watched for mistakes. The secret was to keep my spine straight and my body had to be symmetrical. It took all my concentration and the floating was amazing.
That was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. It's really hard to control your body movement there. That's what I have fun. I'm feeling really wobbly now.
The key to what you're doing in there is to try and keep your body stiff and just move a little bit slowly. So if you're getting a signal, i.e. lengthen the legs, move the legs out slowly till the signal's gone.
Okay.
Keep the legs where they are.
All right, Stu.
Okay?
Yeah, mate.
So everything a little bit slower, but try and be a little bit stiffer, a little bit more in control of your body.
Okay.
So keep it a little bit more in line.
Nice one.
Okay, good effort.
Following Toby's advice, I took it really slowly. Any movement of my arms and legs changed my shape on the airflow and I would turn out of control. It was like nothing I'd ever done before, but little by little, I was getting the hang of it. Well, sort of.
I noticed momentarily I was hovering for a little while there.
Yeah. Once you're hitting a nice position, you're arching a little bit from your chest.
Okay.
So I'd like you to just think about pushing the hips forward. Remember the arch signal?
Okay.
It's the hips make the lowest point. When you feel that you've hit the position, all movements and then should be small. The aim is to get you flying in the centre of the tunnel and not move.
Do you know, there was a bit where I just kind of...
Yeah.
Well, what happened then? Like, was I just not arched in the right
Yeah, you
position?
let the airflow do it. Remember, if you feel something, you don't want to do it counteract.
Okay.
Okay, and it will stop.
Next up, turning. To make a turn, I had to rotate my shoulders as if I was driving a car. And I had to do this very slowly and use tiny movements. The airflow would then do the rest.
You feel yourself drifting off to the right, look to the left, remember the old steering wheel? Lift up, look to where you're going and correct yourself.
Okay.
So it's just lifting the shoulders the opposite way that you want to go.
Nice.
You're going really well.
Oh, nice
really
one.
well. You're flying.
Thank you.
That's cool.
Next task was to control my movement up and down, and I could do this by arching or flattening my body. If I flattened my body by looking down, I went up, and if I arched my spine by looking up, I went down.
That was the best session yet because you did everything a little less speedy. You did things more controlled. Now forward and backward is controlled by your legs.
Okay.
So if you feel yourself going forwards, just gradually bend your legs up towards your heels towards your backside until you stop going forwards and then leave them there. Vice versa, if you feel yourself going backwards, lengthen the legs out, okay, till you stop, leave the legs where they are. So everything's done nice and slow.
This training session was about going backwards and forwards. Toby indicated to me to crunch up my legs so I'd back away from him. He then indicated to me to straighten them so I could come back towards him. To stay in the same place, I had to find a happy medium between arching and flattening my legs and body.
Maintain your arch. Push the hips down.
I straighten off when I...
Yeah, because you're flattening off, and that's what's causing you to turn and corkscrew up.
Right.
Okay, so if we maintain the arch, push the hips down, as we're doing the turn, you'll turn on the spot and on the level.
For my final lesson, Toby wanted me to practice turning again because it was the most difficult thing for me to master. It was all too easy to move my shoulders just a little too much. Toby made me do this over and over again until I got it right.
Proper skydiving there, really, really good. Relaxed, maintaining the arch, the head was up, there were good turns. All we really need now to do is clean everything up a little bit. Yeah. Relax, smile. That's it, skydiving.
Come on.
Woo!
Skydiving! Yes!
After 8 2-minute sessions, I'd had the equivalent of 20 skydives. I felt great and my confidence was out of this world.
That's it. That's skydiving.
Nice
Well
one.
done.
Nice one, thank you.
Nice and relaxed. Your head is up on the turns. You're staying on the level, and you smile. You enjoyed it.
I just like to smile though, because like you got this saliva in the face like that. It's like smile. I'm like, oh, it's quality, mate. Nice one.
Before we left the vertical wind tunnel, I joined the whole team for a taster of what my ultimate challenge was all about. Absolutely brilliant. All I had to do now was to prove to the team I could do it where it mattered. In the air, skydiving from 12,000 feet. And then I could join in for real.
Oh, that is just a taste of things to come. Honestly, I guess the next step is we'll have to do it out of a plane now, aren't we?
The next step is a skydive, but if you can do it in there where it's harder, you can do it easy in the sky. You've only got to get over the fear of jumping out, pulling your own parachute and landing on the ground. But really, it's the easy stuff.
Yeah, it's easy. He says it's easy. What have you been doing today, Andy? Yeah, just been flying. As you do. Soaring through the skies.
I was exhausted, but I couldn't have felt better. You know what? I was starting to really feel I could do this. And then, disaster struck. I was playing a game of footy and was hit by a really hard tackle. My left foot got the full impact. I had it checked out. If there was any damage, I couldn't jump. One physio and a bone scan later, and I was allowed home.
Okay, we've got the images done. Now all I've got to wait for is the doctor to give me the good news or the bad news.
What's the news, good or bad?
Okay, bad news is that I can't skydive for a few weeks, but the good news is that I actually can go to America finally and get to do my original challenge. So stick around for that. It's going to be happening towards the end of this series. And before I forget, I'll be doing a web chat if you're watching on BBC One, so you can talk to me about my challenge. Right, good thing about this is I'll get to do my favourite thing, play football.
See, I'm not even going to bother taking the mickey out of your skills. I'm going to let my feet do all the talking. Oh, yeah.
Name Tom, age 14, ranking freestyle football expert. Name Joel, ranking beginner.
I've always fancied myself as a bit of a footballer. I've got some skills. Well, whatever, well, kind of. But there's someone over there who's got skill beyond doubt. Come here, Tom.
At 14, Tom is one of the world's best young freestyle footballers. Freestyle is simple. Find a football and perform the most limb-bending and head-spinning tricks possible. It's keepy-uppy with attitude, and Tom has bucket loads of it.
Tom, that is ridiculous. But I'm not just here to admire your skills. I hear you have a challenge for me.
Yeah, well, you're going to go out on the streets and perform a routine that I've made for you in front of the public.
I better get learning then. Let's go.
And that was my challenge. Later that day, I was to head up to the South Bank in London and match Tom's nerve by performing my perfected routine in front of London's unforgiving public.
Right, show us the routine then.
OK, we start off with just a nice simple flick up.
Right.
You then go into the around the world, then catch the ball in between the knees.
Yeah.
A side step.
You've got to be kidding.
And then arm roll. And to finish off, kick up, spin round, and then catch.
That's ridiculous.
It had taken Tom 2 years to get that good. Now it was my turn to have a go.
You start off with your right leg, roll the ball up onto your left foot, and then just flick it up with your left foot.
Okay.
There we go.
Right, easy.
But from a brilliant beginning, things got more than a little frustrating.
Right, okay. It's not going so well now. What the?
And then round the ball in one foot.
Oh! I'm losing it. I'm losing the plot.
Try and just like go up.
But with some great tips from Tom, things started to come together.
You need to really sort of like move with the ball.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, mate. This is amazing. Whoa!
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. You sort of need to do a kick up afterwards, so go round and then kick it up. Yeah.
Got it.
He's got the tricks pretty much sorted. It's just trying to continue kick-ups afterwards, which he's struggling with at the moment, but I think he can get it in the end.
I learned this when I was...
Tom might have had confidence in me, but in case it all went horribly wrong, I had a backup plan. My own special trick that I learned when I was 10.
So you start with just normal kick-ups, grab it onto the jumper, and then go... like that. What do you reckon? Can I put that in the routine?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I reckon we should use it. So do you think you're ready to go to London now?
No, but let's go anyway. Well, here I am in the South Bank, centre of London. The place is literally heaving with tourists. And all these street performers here are vying for the attention of the public. And Tom is really putting them in.
This was what I've been building up to all day. I was worried about pretty much all the tricks, but I pulled them off in training. Now, I just had to do them in front of an audience.
Honestly, I don't think I can do it. It's too hard. Okay, so here we go. Ready?
Go on, Joe.
Right.
Thank you, Adrian. Oh. Please, please, please do it. Please do it.
Oh! Right, one more go. Come another go.
Despite another 2 attempts, my first go was my best. I'd actually managed to pull off the first 3 tricks, and I'd even had a go at the Joel special. And the crowd, they seemed to like it.
How did I do? I was so close.
Yeah, I saw it.
It went right at the beginning, then it started to go wrong.
I know, yeah. You did really well. I can't believe you mucked up on like the last trick.
Typical, mate. Thank you so much for everything.
No problem.
Should we go and have a little go?
Let's go and free the style.
Free the style.
If you want to take on one of us, get in touch via our website by going to Blue Peter Central and clicking on Get Involved.
He's good, he's very good.
He's got skills to pay the bills, man.
Yeah, for sure. Now, look where we are. It's the Blue Peter vegetable plot, and it's looking quite good.
And some other planting we did earlier this year is that we launched our Mission Nutrition campaign at the Eden Project. So we get spinach, garlic, broad beans and onions, and they're growing really well.
Yeah, I'll tell you what else is doing very well is the brand new game we've got on the website. It's called Fat Bite Factory. It gives you the opportunity to earn yourselves some pretty cool prizes like this.
Yeah, right. And you're all really enjoying it. Megan from Northampton says, congratulations. Maria from Humberside says, brilliant. Jake from Nottingham said, he's finished stage 1. What do I do now? Well, each week a new stage will be opening up. So you've got another chance to get 300 Fat Bite coins.
And if you're very dedicated for 15 weeks, you can get yourselves one of these really cool badges. It's exactly the same as a Blue Peter badge. And if you've also got any questions, make sure you click on the little question mark icon and keep fat biting.
Here's a fact you might not know.
Go on then.
Bees, they beat their wings 180 times per second.
No way.
And here's some more facts you might not know about bees.
Bees have 5 eyes and never sleep. To tell each other where food is, honeybees perform a special waggle dance. To make a jar of honey, a bee would have to fly the equivalent of twice around the world. A bee can carry half its weight in pollen. Honeybees live in hive colonies of up to 70,000 female bees and 1 queen.
Okay, right, we've got a letter here from Mai and her friends in North London, and she says, have you heard of the viruses that are killing the bees? Well, we have, Mai, but we're not the only ones concerned. Take a look at this.
The bees disappearing!
How is that significant? On Earth we have these insects. Some people said it was pollution or mobile phone signals.
Or they were going back home.
Back home where?
Planet Melissa Majoria.
Are you saying bees are aliens?
Obviously, that is not reality, that's Doctor Who. But one thing is true, and that is that bumblebees and honeybees are in decline. This is because of bad weather, viruses, lack of food, and the worst thing of all, parasites. Now have a look at this. This is under the microscope. These are what is causing bees to die out.
Anyway, well, the thing is, bees help plants grow, and plants give us food. 1/3 of the food we eat needs bees to help them grow.
When bees go between the flowers and plants, they spread pollen, which starts the production of seeds and new plants. But if bees weren't here to do their job, then there'd be no fruit and veg like apples on your trees. There'd be no runner beans in your garden. I perish to think what would happen if bees were to die out.
No way. Well, what baffles me is that over the last 12 months, 1/4 of the bee population in hives have died, and that's 2 billion bees altogether. That's not even accounting for all those wild bees out there. All I know is that if we don't do anything over the next year, the same amount unwanted bees could die again.
That's why we here at Blue Peter want to help by launching our Be Good to Bees. Oh yes, these are going to help you grow the right sorts of flowers in your open spaces and your garden to get those bees coming to your house.
Of course, we know we've got 75,000 of these Be Good to Bees packs in conjunction with BBC Breeding Places and National Science Week. All you need to do is go over to the website and get an adult to do an application form for you, and we can send one of these to you for free. Alternatively, you could write off to this address. It's Be Good to Bees Pack, PO Box 111, London W12 2AQ. Make sure you include your name and address as well. Now, I know for a fact that these are going to be flying out, so make sure you get your orders in as soon as possible.
And once you've got your Be Good to Bee seeds, you can make your bee cafe. What is that, I hear you cry? Well, what it is a place where the bees can just come and chill out. Now, firstly, you need something that's got a bit of sunlight. This could be in your garden, your school, anywhere that's out the way. And then you need someone to put all your seeds in, because it's going to grow flowers that are going to attract the bees. You could use a Wellington boot, for instance, or a watering can. I don't know, you might do that. Or even a tyre like we've chosen here. So once you've got your chosen thing, you need to fill it with soil and then get your Be Good to Bee seeds, it's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it? And then chuck them all over. Now once you've got that, you can rub them in, and then we're going to get some water, and we're going to water the seeds like so, and they're going to add more soil on the top. So I'm going to chuck some soil on there. There we go. Good lush soil for the plants there. Now we're going to zhuzh it up. We're going to get a little place where the bees can just hang out. So get some bamboo stick. You might want your parents to help you with this, because I'm going to cut them in half, hold them together in your hand and get some string and tie them together. And then you need a little plant pot with some modelling clay, which I've already pre-put in there. So what we're going to do now, we're going to stick this in like that, right? Then this is where the bees are going to be chilling out, literally. Put the other bit of bamboo stick in there, and then we're going to hopefully slide it on like that. And that is going to be hugely successful, and all the bees, and it will look a bit like this. That's what all the bees are going to be. It will look like this at the end if you actually have any talent of making stuff. Also, you can design it as well, like I've done here. We've given the bee colours. And earlier on today, the cafe was a huge success. We had our first visitor. This is Ben the Bee. He came to our cafe. He actually said a few comments that he really enjoyed it there and had a great time. And you're probably thinking, but don't bees sting? Well, they only sting if they're scared of you. They're more scared of you than you are of them. Just remember that. And if you want to have a go, please do send us in the pictures, and we may put them on the website. Now, I'm wondering how Helen's balancing's going.
That is good work. I like that.
Oh, it wasn't that easy,
Really?
though. I got through more than one stone. I gave up on the fossil pretty quickly, yeah. So Adrian suggested another one, dropped that. And my third and final stone, I managed to do it.
Okay, Adrian, how was she as a pupil?
Yeah, stone balancer in the making.
I like that a lot. Good work.
So it took you all that time to put it up. I wonder what a massive gust of wind would do, and would it bring it down? Bring on my wind!
God, you are bad. See, go on.
Oh, it's not working. My practical joke is not working. Turn it off.
She's done it.
Turn it off.
Turn it off. First
Joke
time.
backfired, pal.
Adrian, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank
Really
you.
appreciate that. But sadly, that is all we've got time for.
Yeah, join us tomorrow when we will be revealing who has won the Blue Peter Book Awards.
Yes, and if you're watching on BBC One, I'll be doing a web chat right after the show, so come on over.
And remember to be good to bees and get your seeds.
See you later. Have a good one. Bye.
Fact Bite update. Bees tell each other where food is by doing a special waggle dance. Collect this fact bite and more for 30 points. Plus, this week, there's a wow monster to grab.
Don't forget the Blue Peter Mission Nutrition Appeal, where you can help provide 2 million meals around the world.
You can get involved by hosting your own bring and buy sale. Go to...
That's crazy. I'm going to have to betray a close friend.
Situation critical. It's gone dead.
New term, new team, new rules. All new MI High continues Mondays at 5:15 on the CBBC channel.
CBBC.